And this is look, I said before, the big talented man will always beat the small talented fighter.
One of the most highly anticipated matchups in boxing is the potential clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Both world champions have expressed interest in a fight that could define their era. Crawford, in particular, has made it clear that he's eager to step up in weight and challenge Canelo on his own terms.
I'll be going for, but if he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he gonna win or lose.
While Canelo had previously been indifferent to the idea, stating that he wouldn't gain much recognition from such a victory, he has recently become more open to the possibility of considering serious offers. With both fighters seeking high-profile opponents and no major bouts currently lined up, the chances of this fight happening in 2025 have significantly increased. Even Oscar de la Hoya, despite his complicated relationship with Canelo, has shared his thoughts on the potential showdown between the Mexican star and Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford says he wants to fight Canelo. He's changed his tune. He said he's willing to move up 3 weight divisions. To me, that's kind of crazy, but that just shows you, like, man, the dog that's in Terence Crawford.
De la Hoya maintains that his perspective on any potential fight involving Canelo is entirely unbiased. He has a strong opinion about how this matchup could unfold, believing that Canelo, with his superior size and power, would have a distinct advantage over Crawford at 154 pounds. Crawford didn't look all that dangerous in the ring against a beast, so imagine Canelo being the bigger guy and the beast. It's almost a no contest. I mean, come on, when has a smaller, skilled fighter ever beaten a bigger, skilled fighter? It's never happened in the history of the sport. It's rare, De La Hoya told Fight Hub TV. Crawford, known for his technical abilities and punching power, would face a significant physical challenge in taking on Canelo at his natural weight.
Terence Crawford will beat Canelo anytime. Anytime.
While some experts believe Terence Crawford has the skills to compete with Canelo, the difference in size and power could be a major factor in the outcome. For now, the future of this potential fight remains uncertain as both fighters have existing commitments. Any agreement will depend on various factors, including contract negotiations and strategic decisions from both teams. Few fighters have faced both Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez in the ring, but Amir Khan, who has suffered stoppage defeats to both, is one of the few. He has already shared his thoughts on how a potential Crawford versus Canelo fight might unfold.
What do I think of that fight?
Yeah.
I think that, everybody knows that Crawford got the skills. I do think that Canelo's a little big for Crawford.
Several fighters, including a few who have sparred with both Canelo and Crawford, have shared their thoughts on how they believe this fantasy matchup could play out. One such fighter is middleweight contender Jaron Davis, who also faced Canelo's rival David Benavidez in November 2021. Having sparred with both Crawford and Canelo, Davis told Mill City Boxing that he thinks it would be extremely tough for Crawford, and he would back Alvarez to win. Canelo is a big guy, it's going to be a lot for Crawford. He can take a punch, so I don't think Crawford can hurt him with just one shot. Maybe he can cut him or cause some issues to the body, Davis said.
A lot to get that victory based on, size alone. Not that size wins fights, but you got a guy that got size and skill. We'll be able.
Davis continued, Crawford will need to land some solid shots and focus on the body, but it's going to be a tough task. Canelo is a real fighter with moves and traps. Boxing isn't easy, and nothing is impossible, but if I had to bet, I'd put my money on Canelo. I'm not taking anything away from Crawford, but Canelo is great. Can Canelo stop him? He's the bigger guy, and I think one punch could do it. David Benavidez has also weighed in on the potential Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford clash.
Throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's a money fight, you know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo.
Crawford moved up to the 154-pound division for his most recent fight, where he defeated Israel Madrimov by decision. As a result, he now holds the WBO interim super welterweight title with an impressive professional record of 40-0. On the other hand, Canelo is regarded as one of the greatest modern fighters, having recently defeated Edgar Molino at super middleweight and boasting a professional record of the 1st of February, 62. Benavidez praised Crawford's technique but expressed doubts about whether his power could translate to higher weight classes in a fight with Canelo. To face Canelo, Crawford would need to move up 2 more weight divisions.
But it would be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It'd be a great fight, but I feel like if I deserve my opportunity, and after this fight, what else are you gonna say?
In a recent interview, Benavidez shared his thoughts on Crawford, stating, "To be honest, Crawford is one of the best technical fighters I've ever seen. When he moved up to 154, I'm not saying he had problems, but he didn't seem to have the same power he had at 147. He'd still need to move up 2 or 3 more weight classes. Crawford is a one-of-a-kind fighter, but weight classes must be respected. I'd give Canelo the edge." Benavidez, who has spent most of his career at 147 pounds, would need to significantly increase his weight to face Canelo at super middleweight. While Benavidez has long been considered a fighter who could present problems for Canelo, a dream showdown between the two has yet to happen.
And this is a tough fight. You know, the top WBC, the top people ranked at the WBC are fighting each other. So I mean, it should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, then I'll go up to fight Bivol, or I'll go try to, I set my conquest on 175.
The fast-handed Benavidez is set to face David Morrell in his next fight on February 1st. Meanwhile, the potential showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has captured the imagination of boxing fans worldwide. After his dominant victory over Errol Spence Jr., Crawford has openly expressed his desire to face the Mexican super middleweight champion. Widely regarded as the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world, Crawford would face a monumental challenge by moving up 2 weight classes to take on Canelo. However, the road to this historic fight will be anything but easy. Demetrius Andrade, a former super middleweight world champion, has also weighed in on the highly anticipated matchup.
Just too much overall. Like, is that kind of the same thing with the Crawford and Canelo because of the weight classes, the weight between them?
Yeah, I believe so.
I love Crawford. He's a good friend. We've reached out to each other and traveled the world together through the amateur program. He saw me beat people up, and I saw him do the same. The stories could go on, but when it comes to weight and power, that stuff is real, Andrade said in an interview with Fight Hub TV. Andrade, who was once linked to a fight with Canelo, acknowledged Crawford's immense talent and skill but believes Canelo holds a significant advantage due to his size and experience in higher weight classes. Canelo is a big bad wolf, and he can go all night. I think Crawford has the skills, but when it comes to landing shots and avoiding Canelo's power punches, Canelo knows how to move, too. He's agile, not like a robot. It's going to be tough, Andrade explained.
I love Crawford. He's a good friend. We reach out to each other. We've traveled the world through the amateur program. He see me beat people up. I see him beat people up. He see me get beat up. I got beat up. We both.
I don't think Crawford can beat Canelo, but I still believe he can give him a good fight. I'll be sitting there rooting for Canelo all day, Andrade added. However, others hold a different view, believing Crawford's skill set is enough to pose a serious threat to Canelo, regardless of the weight difference. Bivol was asked to share his thoughts on the much-discussed potential battle between the extremely talented Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, who is widely regarded as one of the best fighters in the sport today.
Crawford wanting to fight Canelo 3 divisions up. Good idea, bad idea?
I don't remember sizes of Terence Crawford.
Welterweight.
If he big, actually.
Maybe he's probably...
I remember when I first came to the boxing gym, one of the first lessons I learned was to respect weight classes. But Terence is one of my favorite active fighters. He has great skills, very good skills. Maybe he could show us something, Bivol said. He already knows what to do, and his coach knows too. They'll find a solution. When directly asked if he thought Crawford could beat Canelo, Bivol responded, "I can imagine it," adding, "But it's close. If you tried to rate my legs on one scale, you could equate that with eating cornbread." This shows just how much Bivol values Crawford's abilities despite the challenge of facing a naturally larger opponent. Bivol also mentioned that Crawford's ring intelligence could give him an advantage over Canelo, saying, I can tell you that Crawford is one of the best fighters in the world right now. I see him with more boxing IQ.
I came to the boxing gym, one of the first lesson which I should learn, it's like, you should respect weight classes. You know, yeah, what it means. But Terence Crawford now is my...
Hall of Famer and ESPN boxing analyst Timothy Bradley Jr. favors Terence Crawford in a potential matchup with Saul Canelo Alvarez. Bradley took to his YouTube channel to make his case for Crawford, saying, "Everyone keeps talking about the weight." Crawford recently moved up from welterweight to 154 pounds, while Alvarez has been fighting at 168 pounds since late 2020. Oh, he's going to knock him out. When was the last time Canelo knocked someone out? Bradley questioned. Canelo's most recent stoppage came against Caleb Plant in November 2021.
I don't know, someone told me to study Canelo, study Crawford. Crawford about to beat the shit out of Canelo Alvarez. I'm letting y'all know right now, he about to beat the brakes off of Canelo.
Since then, Canelo has failed to knock out established opponents like Dmitry Bivol in a loss and a 40-year-old Gennady Golovkin. He's also gone the distance with fighters considered to be well below his skill level, like John Ryder, Jamie Munguia, and Edgar Berlanga. Even Jamal Charlo, a natural junior middleweight, went the distance with Canelo, though he was never competitive with the super middleweight champion, Bradley said. "Y'all can quit with the idea that he's going to knock Crawford out. Come on, man. Didn't we just see Alexander Usyk fight Tyson Fury, who was, quote-unquote, 50 pounds heavier? Canelo is the same height as Crawford, and is not a natural 168-pounder. Usyk is a great fighter, absolutely, but you know who else is great? Crawford. The great ones know how to figure it out."
Yes, he is. Number 2, Devin Haney. You want to get back, man, go back to your roots, bro. Go back to where you started.
Bradley pointed out Crawford's 74-inch reach, which is 3.5 inches longer than Canelo's, as well as his ability to limit an opponent's output with his counterpunching. Alvarez is already a low-output fighter, and Bradley believes Crawford could win a decision by staying at a distance, using straight punches to avoid Canelo's looping hooks and tiring him out as the fight progresses. "Don't go running away from the fight now, Canelo," Bradley said, referencing the unified super middleweight champion's apparent avoidance of David Benavidez. Imitating Canelo's higher-pitched voice, Bradley added, "Remember what you said? Easy fight, easy, easy fight, easy fight." While many analytical boxing minds share Bradley's opinion, most in the fight game believe the size and power difference is simply too great for Crawford to impose his skills. However, because Crawford is so skilled, Bradley related how he felt like Crawford's younger brother, attempting to release skills from a balloon, only for Crawford to take the balloon right out of his hands.
Where'd you start? You started in Mexico, man. Go back, get one of those guys out of there, man. Go back, start there. That's where you start. Go back to your roots, bro. Get some of that humble pie, bro. Go back, start where you started. Start where you started at.
Known for his strong opinions, Bradley is confident in his unpopular stance. "I'm going to get back to my hater raid," he said toward the end of the video, sipping his drink. "You already know. Whether the boxing world will see a Canelo versus Crawford matchup seems to depend on Alvarez." Crawford, who became the undisputed welterweight champion in July 2023 after stopping Errol Spence Jr. in 9 rounds, made even more history earlier this year by becoming a 4-division champion, outpointing Israel Madrimov to capture the WBA title at 154 pounds. Meanwhile, the Mexican icon, Canelo, has also had his share of success in recent years.
Just with Canelo, obviously, he had his fight with Edgar Berlanga announced recently. Not received necessarily a positive outcome and reaction he'd have liked. What did you make of the Canelo Berlanga?
After securing the undisputed super middleweight title in 2021, Canelo fell short in a challenge against then WBA light heavyweight champion Dmitry Bivol. However, the 34-year-old has since won 5 straight fights, defeating the likes of Gennady Golovkin, Jamal Charlo, and Edgar Berlanga along the way. Legendary boxing trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas shared his thoughts with Fight Hub TV on the potential mega fight between the two stars, stating that he would have a hard time betting against the American southpaw. Very few people have the appetite or inclination to challenge themselves the way Crawford does. I ain't never going against that guy. Father Time might catch him, but I don't know if a weight class can catch him, Atlas said.
Listen, I think Berlanga's a talented kid who's getting better. He's improved recently. I think he still needs more seasoning, but I see an improvement in him.
It's a tremendous challenge because Canelo is a tremendous fighter, bigger, stronger, and capable of punching and timing you. But just because you're smaller, Crawford will come up with a game plan that makes the other guy use his size, McIntyre said in an interview with Fight Hub TV. He offered high praise for the undefeated Crawford, who is linked to a potential fight with Canelo in May or September. Crawford has all the tools to win a third undisputed title. Any hardcore boxing fan knows Crawford can beat Canelo. You have to understand boxing to say that, McIntyre added. Regarding Conor Benn's performance, McIntyre said, I think he looked like trash. I didn't watch the fight, but some of the coaches were watching it while I was driving, and they just said he looked like trash. I know Pete Dobson really well, and he gave him a tough fight, but I don't think much of Ben. I really don't know him. I hear his name, but that's about it. When asked about Ben wanting to face Tank Davis next, McIntyre responded, why would he go down there and pick on guys at 135 and 141? Why not challenge the guys at 147 and 154? If you really want to fight somebody, fight the best. As for the upcoming fight between Tim Tszyu and Keith Thurman, McIntyre said, I think it's going to be a good fight. Tszyu has the momentum because Keith has been out for a while. It's going to be a tough fight to call right now, but I can see the fight leaning towards Tszyu, just because he has the momentum. Thurman doesn't have momentum right now. It's like riding a bike, and Thurman has been at that high level for many years, McIntyre said. He will corner rising star Kay Davis this Thursday in Las Vegas ahead of the Super Bowl on Sunday. McIntyre expects an excellent performance thanks to meticulous preparation. I want him to grab a few titles, win in a few divisions, and let his body grow. He's only 25 years old, McIntyre pointed out. But 7 or 8 years from now, we could call him one of the greatest to lace up the gloves.
Is Crawford coming back? What are the plans for him?
I think he is injured now. We are planning to have something with him. I will discuss with him maybe in January. I see him last week in Hamburg. He said he's have a little injured.
The process you have to go through to be called that, and I'm glad he's starting that journey, McIntyre said. It's the energy level he has. He's on the big stage, and the sparring has been good, so he's ready now. He just needs to focus on training every day, working on strategy, and being mindful of how he eats and sleeps. I keep a close eye on him from when he wakes up to when he goes to bed.
Rehab now and training again, and we hope to. He's one of our plan to.
Ortiz's trainer, Robert Garcia, shared that in a private conversation with Crawford, the Nebraska technician made it clear that he wants Canelo or nothing at all, hinting at Crawford's potential retirement. Even Crawford's representative, Alec, seems to agree with this belief, telling the Stomping Ground, I don't think Crawford will fight anyone except Canelo. Even though I wanted to offer Virgil Ortiz as an opponent, I don't think he will take it. I think he only wants Canelo. However, the latest tweet from the undefeated two-weight undisputed champion suggests that retirement may not be on his mind just yet. Crawford tweeted, I have been doubted my whole career, and some still doubt me now. I love it.
Fight. The goal obviously is a Canelo fight for him, right?
We hope he wants this fight, and why not?
You and Canelo, I know you guys are working towards...
Seeing this tweet, a fan responded, keep fighting once a year. Bud, what an era. Crawford quickly cleared up the retirement rumors by writing, the demand is high. It seems Bud might still keep fighting, even if it's not against Canelo. However, that hasn't stopped people from speculating about a potential matchup between the two. David Benavidez, who is eager for his own fight against Canelo, has shared his thoughts on a possible clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Benavidez, while acknowledging Crawford's technical brilliance, expressed doubts about Crawford's ability to handle the challenges of moving up to higher weight classes.